When authoritarianism pits friend against friend and silence itself becomes a weapon, how does a 10-year-old child possibly learn what real courage means?
It's a powerful question. The book we're diving into today really explores those quiet, immense risks ordinary people face. And when making a moral choice feels like staring into an abyss with this constant, unseen threat humming underneath everything.
Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're trying something a little different. We want to offer a new, really in-depth approach to covering books with this extended summary.
Right, so this isn't quite like our previous review, which was more of a focused analysis.
Exactly. This is designed to be a comprehensive overview. We'll trace the background, the key arguments, the plot points, and the real-world impact of the book.
And we'd genuinely love to know what you think. If you find this expanded format useful, please do let us know. Your feedback really helps us shape what we do next.
Okay, so the book is Number the Stars, written by Lois Lowry, published back in 1989.
A major work of historical fiction for young readers and highly acclaimed. It won the Newbery Medal in 1990, which is a huge deal in children's literature.
And just a quick note on how we're doing this. You're actually experiencing a unique two-host AI conversation right now. It's powered by Google's NotebookLM, aiming for, well, deeper and more dynamic book summaries.
Okay, setting the scene. It's absolutely crucial here. We're in Copenhagen, Denmark. The year is 1943.
So right in the thick of World War II.
Exactly, and under Nazi occupation.
Yeah.
But the danger Lowry portrays, it's less about battlefield action and more about this oppressive atmosphere. Constant presence of soldiers, curfews, rationing.
It makes everyday life fraught with tension.
Precisely. Danger isn't some distant event. It's woven into the fabric of daily life. Just walking down the street becomes a potential risk.
That sense of quiet, pervasive fear really sets the stage for our main character, doesn't it? Let's talk about 10-year-old Anne-Marie Johansen.
Yes, Anne-Marie is our eyes and ears. She's blonde, described as resourceful, but what's really central is watching her grow up incredibly fast.
Thrust into adult situations.
Absolutely. She's forced to confront loyalty, bravery, danger. Concepts no child should have to grapple with so intensely. Her maturation is the heart of the story.
And that conflict, that tension, it hits right away. There's an early scene where Anne-Marie and her best friend Ellen Rosen are stopped by Nazi soldiers.
And Ellen's identity is immediately a point of friction. She has dark hair, and significantly, she wears a Star of David necklace.
A visible marker.
It highlights the arbitrary nature of the persecution, how identity itself becomes dangerous. That single street encounter just chills you.
Things escalate quickly from there. The Nazis start planning the roundup of Denmark's Jewish citizens.
Right. And Ellen's parents, they manage to go into hiding, but separately. Ellen needs shelter immediately.
So she stays with the Johansens.
Yes, and this is the first major deception. To protect her, Ellen has to pretend to be Anne-Marie's older sister, Lise, who had passed away earlier.
Taking on a dead sister's identity. Wow.
It's a profound sacrifice of truth, right from the start, all in the name of survival and friendship.
And this leads to maybe the most nail-biting scene early on, the apartment search.
Oh, definitely. Nazi soldiers bursting in at night, specifically looking for hidden Jewish families. The stakes are suddenly sky-high.
And Anne-Marie. She has seconds to react.
She does. She has to hide Ellen's Star of David necklace. That necklace is tangible proof of Ellen's identity. Anne-Marie rips it off Ellen's neck and conceals it.
Risking everything. Her own safety, her family's.
Instinctively.
Yeah.
To protect her friend. It's an incredible moment of split-second courage from a 10-year-old.
This scene also really clarifies the family roles, doesn't it?
It does. You see, Mr. Johansen, Papa, who is calm, supportive, coordinating things subtly from Copenhagen, even using coded language over the phone.
While staying behind.
Right. But it's Mrs. Johansen, Mama, who becomes the driving force of the physical escape. She's warm, yes, but also incredibly brave. She takes the girls on this dangerous journey towards safety.
She really emerges as a pillar of strength.
Completely. Risking her own life multiple times for Ellen.
So, the story then shifts gears. We move from the city, with its kind of simmering, hidden tension,
to the coast, where the resistance is much more active. It's a move from defense to direct action.
Mrs. Johansen takes Anne-Marie, her younger sister Kirsty, and Ellen away from Copenhagen.
They travel to Uncle Henrik's farm, which is near the coast. This change in location signals they're now part of an active escape plan. The hiding phase is shifting to something more dangerous.
Let's talk about Uncle Henrik. He's Mama's brother.
On the surface, just a simple fisherman. but he's actually a key figure in the Danish resistance.
His boat isn't just for fishing.
Not at all. He uses it to ferry Jewish refugees across the Arizona Strait to neutral Sweden. He embodies this quiet, practical, unassuming kind of courage.
And the resistance relies on some incredibly clever and frankly bold deception. The fake funeral scene is remarkable.
It really is. They stage a funeral at the farmhouse to gather people and provide cover, knowing Nazi patrols are watching the area.
It's theater, essentially. High-stakes theater.
And the detail Lowry includes is brilliant. They claim the person in the coffin, supposedly Great Aunt Bird, who never actually existed, died of typhus.
Why typhus specifically?
Because it's highly contagious. It's a strategic lie designed to keep the soldiers from getting too close, from wanting to inspect the coffin. It shows the quick thinking, the calculated risks they had to take.
And we learn the family's connection to this resistance network runs deeper. Through Peter Nielsen.
Yes, Peter. He was engaged to Lise, Anne-Marie's older sister, whose identity Ellen is using. Peter is actively involved in the resistance.
And Lisa's death, it wasn't just an accident, was it?
No, it's revealed later that her death was directly linked to her own work with the resistance. She was run down by a military car during her activities.
So this connects the family's current bravery back to a past sacrifice, a legacy almost.
Exactly. It frames their present actions not just as a response to immediate danger, but as part of a longer commitment, a deeper understanding of the cost of resistance. It really deepens the emotional weight.
Which brings us back to Anne-Marie. What does courage mean when you're that young, maybe not fully grasping all the consequences?
We see the answer quite starkly when Anne-Marie gets her own mission, the most critical and the most terrifying for her.
This is after the fake funeral.
Yes. Something goes wrong, and Anne-Marie has to deliver a crucial secret package to Uncle Henrik down at his boat, all by herself.
Through the woods, at dawn.
And she runs straight into soldiers. With dogs. Search dogs. It's incredibly suspenseful.
And the package isn't just papers or something, it's vital.
It contains a handkerchief treated with a special chemical, a mixture of dried rabbit's blood and cocaine developed by Swedish scientists.
What does that do?
It temporarily ruins the dog's sense of smell. It dulls their ability to track the hidden refugees on the boats. It's a fascinating, true detail of the historical resistance effort.
So this small package, delivered by a terrified child, is key to the entire escape plan's success. She has to be composed, lie to the soldiers, all while paralyzed by fear.
And this is where Lowry uses symbolic objects so effectively. We've already mentioned Ellen's Star of David necklace.
Symbolizing identity, faith, danger.
Right. And Anne-Marie, hiding it, preserves Ellen's life, even while hiding the symbol itself. Then there's Uncle Henrik's boat.
The vessel of escape, hope and vulnerability all tied up together.
Exactly. And finally, that chemical-laced handkerchief Anne-Marie carries. It represents the ingenuity, the quiet science, the almost invisible tools the resistance use against a powerful enemy.
Espionage carried out by a child. It's quite something.
That solo run through the woods really underscores why Lowry's narrative choice, the limited third-person perspective, is so powerful.
We stay right with Anne-Marie.
Always. We don't get the big picture of the war. We get her immediate fears, her confusion, her growing sense of responsibility. It creates such immediacy.
It connects you emotionally, doesn't it? Especially for young readers. You feel the tension because you only know what she knows, see what she sees.
And the writing itself is very direct, very realistic, no melodrama. It creates this tense, somber mood that feels absolutely true to the historical reality.
Thinking about that narrative craft, how authors build tension and perspective, it's fascinating.
It really is. And perhaps this is a good moment to pause and reflect.
Yes, we wanted to mention Mindful Moments. That's our YouTube channel. We offer AI-driven book analysis, summaries like this one, and critiques.
It's all designed to spark reflection, encourage rational thought, and honestly, it could be quite valuable for aspiring authors trying to understand how stories are built.
Check it out if that sounds interesting. Okay, back to Number the Stars. Beyond the plot, the book is built on some really profound themes.
Absolutely. It doesn't simplify things for its young audience. It tackles big ideas.
Like the importance of solidarity, of communities standing together, the testing of loyalty under extreme pressure, and of course, courage.
But not just battlefield courage. It really highlights the risks ordinary people, non-soldiers, took when making moral choices in the face of tyranny.
The quiet heroism.
Exactly. And the idea that protecting someone's identity, helping them remain who they are, is a powerful act of resistance in itself.
It truly shows how one person, one family, can make a difference against what seems like overwhelming power. It's not about grand, dramatic gestures, always.
It's often about that quiet, persistent commitment to doing what's right, even when terrified.
And that focus clearly struck a chord. The book was a huge success.
Immense, commercially and critically. Winning the Newbery Medal in 1990 really cemented its place.
Still widely read in schools today.
Yes, it's translated into many languages and remains a staple in classrooms because it handles complex, traumatic history with sensitivity and makes it accessible for young readers without sanitizing the danger.
So the core message isn't really about the battles of World War II.
No, the essence is about the specific, organized, quiet heroism of ordinary Danish citizens who risked everything to save their Jewish neighbors. It's a story about finding moral clarity in the darkest of times.
So stepping back from this summary, what's the lasting idea the book leaves us with?
I think it's the powerful idea that courage isn't about not being afraid. Fear is natural, maybe even necessary in those situations.
It's about acting despite the fear.
Precisely. It forces us to look closer at the world around us and ask, how often do we overlook profound heroism because it happens quietly in everyday choices rather than grand, visible actions?
A really important question to reflect on. Thank you for joining us for this extended summary, this deep dive into Number the Stars. If you want our focused analysis, click the link on screen now for the in-depth book critique. Please subscribe, share this with others, and consider purchasing the book via the link. And always, think rationally. Explore more genre-based book discussions over at Mindful Moments. Subscribe and nourish your mind on the go.